Whatever path you were on, whatever inspired you to come here today, we honor you and we welcome you. And now, our message.
Before I begin the talk, I would like to do a short evocation, and this is just to center us, to anchor us, to get us prepared for receiving. You just close your eyes and get comfortable for a moment and allow me to create the space. The space where everything is holy. Our breath, the birds, the trees, the person sitting next to you, the chair you're sitting on, everything should be revered. Everything is a part of the one. Everything is a part of me. Everything is a part of you. There is a power in this universe that is greater than us, and we can use it. This divine oneness, this ultimate reality, this God, this Spirit, this source of all exists everywhere. It flows through me, it flows through you. It is the Creator and the creation. We are co-creators. We are individualized aspects of this. May we be open and receptive to all there is to learn today. May we be open and receptive to the light on our own path, wherever it is leading. May we be willing to receive. And may we be wise enough to know where it is we are going, who it is we are, why we are here. And may we do it with love and compassion and joy and peace in our hearts. May you know today who you are. And may you fall in love again. And so it is. Normally Reverend Allie is here, but I really get to introduce myself today, don't I? I have a guest speaker today, someone that I've known my whole life. If you don't know me, my name is Lyle. I'm a minister here at Satya. Reverend Allie is not here today, and she will be back next week, so please join us then too. I'm speaking today on our November theme was life is good all the time. Life is good all the time. And my talk title is Perspective. And as I thought about what I was going to do this month, and something that I do quite often is I picked this title for my talk, I wrote it down, and I walked away. And that's why I like to have some time. Reverend Allie seems to be able to write a talk the day before. I usually need a couple of weeks, so this is my process. So I walk away, and I know that as I put a thought out there, as I put a desire out there, as I put something out into the universe, sometimes it comes back to me and I get what it is I'm supposed to say, or what I'm supposed to talk about, or where I am supposed to go, and I am guided. And the truth is, what I wanted to talk about today is a lot about what I had just said about putting it out there in the universe. It is about thoughts and energy. It is about the law of attraction. It is about reciprocal action in the universe. And it is about changing your life. It is about transforming your life. Now, I said a lot of times that it all starts with awareness. You have to be aware of something. You have to be aware that it even exists, be it a feeling or a presence, before you can change that thing. And the key element to realizing how good life is, I think, is your perspective. Now, perspective is a particular attitude towards a way of regarding something. A point of view. It is also a position or a frame of reference. Perspective is a way of thinking. And I think perspective can be very important when we're considering that life is good all the time. Perspective is a simple thing. It's not, I don't think, one of these great aha moments where I'm going to say something to you today and it's going to change your life, but maybe. But it's a simple thing, and it's a way you can make a difference in your life. How you think about things. What's your perspective? Abraham Lincoln said, we can complain because a rose bush has thorns. Or you can rejoice in that thorn bush having roses. It's perspective. And it's perspective that changes how you think about something, or even what it is you think about something, and it's different than what other people might think. The funny story I wanted to tell was recently I was down in Southern California visiting with my brother and his wife. Kevin, if you're listening, hello. He lives in California, and I just learned on this recent trip, he said, I listened to all your talks on tape. I was like, oh my God. I did not know that. There's a history. We'll go into that another time. So we're watching the weather. We're watching the news. I don't typically watch news, but the Weather Channel was on, and so we were watching that. And the weather forecaster had said something to the lady at the desk, and she is from South Carolina, the other newscaster, and she was talking about her home in South Carolina. And in South Carolina, they were having a snowstorm, and she was like, oh my gosh, just a couple days ago it was this beautiful weather, and then today it's snowing. And I thought, well, I can relate to that. It's a lot like that here, right? You just wait a little while and you're going to have a snowstorm. But the forecaster, the Southern California forecaster, just to kind of set it up a little bit, she said, I know a couple of days ago it was 80 degrees and today it's in the 60s. And I thought, what a perfect example. It's like, oh my gosh, it dropped 10 degrees. Her perspective was that was a huge swing. What a change. And in my perspective, it was, I mean, I wouldn't even change shirts for that. It's not much different. And it was just a perfect example of someone else's perspective on something as simple as the weather. And I thought, now if your level of personal comfort can only vary a couple of degrees, you're in for a rough ride. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs in your life. How you view your life, your point of reference, your way of thinking will hugely skew how happy you are in life. Now, being a minister is great. It's a great forum for expression, for sharing my life lessons, for things like this. And hopefully some of what I say may benefit you in some way. Today I'm talking about life being good. And talking about understanding that statement, my perspective on it. Now, when I end most services here, I get an opportunity to do a blessing in the center. And we stand around and we sing, I talk about something wonderful is happening. And at the end of the blessing that I do, everyone raises their arms and says, life is good all the time. So be prepared, we're going to do that. Life is good all the time. And I think some of you are swept up in that, and you know it, and you agree with it, and you know what I'm talking about, and life is good all of the time. And there's probably one or two people out there that are saying, oh no, oh no it ain't. You might look at me and say, Lyle, that's not true. You weren't in my house this morning. You don't know what's going on. Life is not good. You might be living in lack, or you might be living in fear, or you might be living in anger, or you might just say, easy for you to say, but it's not true. For the most part, I do know that life is good. And I struggle with things too. Some things I shared this morning and with some other people too is that I don't like to be told what to do. There is a natural thing that erupts in me when I'm prepared to go west and they say, no, you have to go east. And I say, not only no, but no. Or, yes, did I see someone mouth, watch me? Just watch me go west. I know that's a simple thing. I know that's a simple thing, but it's like one of my things. I don't like change a lot. I've come in here and Reverend Alley has changed the chairs around and they're facing that wall. I don't know what it is, but I get my heart just like someone grabs it. And the first time she did that, I came in, I started putting everything the other way. It's like, it's supposed to be this way. It's my perspective, I know. But there are things like that. Those are simple, those are easy things, those are things I could bring up, you could laugh at with me. But there are other things, struggles that we all go through, the health of loved ones that bother us, that we're afraid for, that we struggle with. I'm going through that now in my life. And what I did was I called Mark and I called Kimmy and I called Reverend Alley. We emailed and I said, pray with me, treat with me. And something changes. Because my outlook, my perspective shifts. And I feel different, I feel better. What I want you to know is that there is nothing out there that is trying to get you. There is nothing out there that is making you feel bad. You know where it's coming from. You know where I'm going with this. God isn't out there trying to punish you for something. You're not destined or doomed to be stuck in a certain situation or a certain experience. Most of those fears or upsets are coming from a place within you, your subconscious or your egoic self, your belief system, your perspective that says you must react a certain way to survive sometimes. It's perspective. What is true for you may not be true for somebody else. Probably doesn't upset most of you when someone tells you to do something. Maybe one or two of you. Or change is not a problem for you. Why would change be a problem? You know, it's just perspective. Now, George Carlin, if some of you remember George Carlin, he had said, some people say the glass is half empty, and some people say it is half full. George Carlin says, you've got too much glass. So when I say life is good all the time, yeah, I believe it. It's all good all the time, and it is a matter of perspective. So when your child is sick, when your car breaks down, when it's freezing cold outside, and you're not sure what to do next in your life, I'm pretty much guessing, even after today's talk, you're not going to say, Lyle, life is good. Yay. Perspective. You know, one door opens, another door closes, or one door closes, another door opens. It's all lessons in life. Life is our teacher. There aren't problems. There are challenges. There aren't problems. There's opportunities. And one person out there is saying, oh, beans. I have a headache and I don't have an aspirin. I'm not happy. But here's the thing. I'm sorry, but I think it is true that it is all perspective. I can remember someone telling me once, I can't remember who, but they were saying, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Oh my burden. Why is this happening for me? If you change your perspective, instead of being something dumped on you as an opportunity, can't you see how it changes how you react in life, how your next step will be a little bit different if your perspective to whatever it is happening changes? You see, thought is energy. It's processing out in your life. And the good news is, you have some control over that. You have control over your thoughts. In many ways, you are the co-creator in your life. You are the creator of all of your experiences. Thoughts are energy. And this is an energy-based universe. It's a reciprocal universe. It reflects back to you things with like energy of what you're thinking and feeling. Because you're more than just this human body. You are this pile of trillions of cells. And if you break them down to the molecular level, it's not physical. In this book I'm reading, The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton, it talks about how we connect on the physical and the non-physical level with the world around us. He said there are what we call cells with perception switches. The individual cells that make up your body have perception switches, and these cells react to their environment, creating a behavior response. The cell does. Single cells do this. We as human beings, the whole pile of cells, we do this. Cells gravitate to things that sustain them, and they retract from things that harm them. We have fears, we have upsets, and they are learned. They are not real. So like the fear of lack, or the fear of commitment, or the fear of change can be upsetting. And I ask, why would it so control me if it's just a belief? and it's not real. We have choice in the matter. We can change, and we have control of that process.
Yeah, then.
Change your thinking, change your life. We can make a difference. We teach meditation, we teach affirmations, we teach thinking a new thought. Bruce Lipton said in his book, our subconscious is on auto response, from breathing to physically avoiding. Anything we perceive as a danger, we automatically have a tendency to avoid that. And he says it can be changed. He's speaking of our subconscious. It can be changed. It can be reprogrammed. Since most of our belief systems we obtained by the age of 5 or 6 years old are in place, it may take a little work. You've been living with them for 10 years, 20 years. Oh. 50 years, 60 years.
Yeah, then.
But we have a special gift. We can learn about perceptions without having to actually experience it. We can learn. We accept the truth at 5 years old that our teacher told us we're not good at math. And that became hardwired into our thinking. It affected your thoughts from there on. I'm not good at math. We have the ability to relearn our belief system of how we are good at math and to replace that old tape. If I had had a teacher say that to me, see, I went on to become an engineer, and that's my present work, which I'm going to retire from soon. Time for me to move on to something else. I'm looking for a new vocation. See how this works out. But I would never have even tried. Well, I'm no good at math. Look at all the math courses they require. Forget that. Look how much could change in your life. This thing called science of mind that Ernest Holmes wrote about and talked about, originally, this is not a religion. Ernest Holmes is talking about a way of life. He's talking about a philosophy. This spiritual journey is about you making choices. You want to change your life, you want to create a transformation, change your thinking. Gosh, it's as simple as that. It's not easy, but it's simple. Scientists are proving all the time that cells adapt. Cells create. We as human beings adapt and create. Cells react to energy and vibrations. You are made up of 3, some say up to 15 trillion cells. You adopt and you create. There was one point in my life where I really discovered that I had this automatic response to someone telling me what to do. You know, I told you that feeling, that bang, that just made me say no and step away and choose not to follow that path. And I had a realization, I had an awareness, like I said, it's so important to be actually aware of something, that I automatically do this. And as an experiment, I thought, well, I'm going to change my automatic response. Let's just see what happens. Anytime something comes up, I get that feeling. Instead of saying no, I'm going to say, wait. You know, give me a time. This wasn't at home with my relationship with my wife. That didn't ever come up. It was only at work, truly. But when my boss would do that, wait, or let me think about it, or I'll get back with you in the morning, And the funny thing was, nearly every time that happened, it was like, yeah, he's got a good idea. It might be a better direction to go. Or I'm willing to try that. And I'd come in the next day and let's go. But if I had gone with the automatic response, well, I think my career would have been very shortcut. I might have been talking like this much earlier than I thought. And it changed everything. When I did that, and my perspective, my perception of what was being done to me, and I took control, it changed. What a difference it made in my life, in my work. Now, my wife constantly brings that up to me. But now I'm able to laugh at it. She's able to laugh at it. And I think with that ability to look at it and have a different outlook now on that and laugh at myself, to be able to share it with you and have you laugh at me. And it's okay. I call that a transformation in my life. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for allowing me to share with you. I'm about out of time. I want to just let you know my talk is done, and so the lesson begins. Let us close our eyes in prayer, just knowing how much there is in this world that we are unaware of. Let us open our eyes and see. Let us be aware of the grand beauty of ourselves, of our souls, of our being. That's something more that is us. We are more than this body. We are a spiritual soul having a human experience. Being aware of that opens a whole new vista to us. Let us be willing and able to change our perception and our perspective and open up and smile. Sometimes we laugh at ourselves, and the laughter is good. Life is good all the time. And so it is. So it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence today and being a part of the Satya Center. You're invited to join Reverend Ali and Reverend Lyle each Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for your dose of connection, inspiration, and co-creation. The Satya Center is located at 795 24th Street, Ogden, Utah. For directions, a map, and our service times, please see our website, thesatyacenter.org. This program was brought to you by the kind donations from the members of the Satya Center. Thank you.